A spacecraft from another solar system invades the night sky. But this is not our sky. And we are the invaders. The search for alien life has begun.
We think that other worlds, perhaps other Earths, if you will, exist. We know of hundreds of other planetary systems right now, and that may be the tip of the iceberg.
It isn't conceivable, really, that there would not be life. Is it intelligent? I don't know. That's a whole other issue.
Within a few decades, unmanned probes equipped with artificial intelligence may find life on planets beyond our solar system.
2014, that's the magic year. That's the magic year where the terrestrial planet finder goes up into orbit, and its explicit mission is to find evidence of up to perhaps 500 Earth-like planets orbiting other star systems.
There is no reason not to think that on some of them, somewhere, you would find multicellular organisms like ourselves.
The life we have on Earth must have spontaneously generated itself. It must therefore be possible for life to be generated spontaneously elsewhere in the universe.
We now take a simulated journey, scientifically verified by leading experts, to a planet called Darwin 4. The life it supports tests the limits of technology and the intellects of the greatest minds of our generation. Because here on Darwin, life is truly full of surprises. An interstellar spacecraft named von Braun leaves Earth orbit for a planet some 6.5 light years away. Are we ready to confront the technical challenges of a mission that will take decades to complete? To find out, a team of top scientists, engineers, and artists create a virtual mission to Darwin 4, fourth planet in a binary system called Darwin.
It seemed utterly important to me that the foundation to create a world was to make sure that the world was acceptable to the science community.
Then we put together a team of scientists to have a look at that concept and to make sure that the laws of physics and chemistry were all represented in that model.
Today, we search for planets like Earth through telescopes. The Darwin 4 mission simulates the next giant step, the unmanned quest to find life beyond our solar system. The von Braun is roughly the size of a nuclear attack submarine and travels at 37,000 miles per second, 20% the speed of light.
According to Einstein, there's an ultimate speed limit in the universe. Mother Nature is like a cop that says you cannot break the light barrier. Now, the nearest star is 4 light years away, and Darwin, traveling at 20% the speed of light, will take 42 years to make that journey.
The metal composite nose shield that protects the ship is cratered by collisions with space debris accumulated during the 42-year journey to Darwin 4. The planet orbits the larger sun of a binary solar system in a zone just close enough to its own star for comfort, a sweet spot astronomers call the Goldilocks zone.
Not too close and not too far away, but just at the right distance that the planet can support liquid water on its surface.
The von Braun's first priority is to call home. A digital message will be sent through a laser beam, but the limits of time and space impose a roaming charge for long distance. Even at the speed of light, von Braun's transmissions to Earth take 6.5 years, making it impractical for engineers to correct problems. So von Braun and its probes will have to think on their own. The first phase of the mission is to deploy the Darwin Reconnaissance Orbiter, or DRO.
It's going to spend months monitoring weather, looking for geology, looking for signs of life.
It's going to map the entire planet, and it's going to rotate around the planet, and it's going to give us some detail on the topography.
We learned a little bit about the planet via the space-based telescopes that were around our own Earth, but now that we're actually there, we're going to look down and confirm that our guesses were correct.
So that when we put these probes down, which can only explore a small fraction of the planet, we get the most out of it.
Images surge through the DRO's camera lens. Infrared, radar, and visible light pictures reveal an equatorial mountain range and vast plains swirling with weather systems. Darwin 4 has no oceans, just a small blue sea. Von Braun's computers sift through thousands of destinations before selecting the one landing site with the most to offer. The Von Braun launches a probe about the size of a dump truck named Balboa, after the famous explorer. Balboa enters Darwin's airspace as our first ambassador to a pristine alien planet. The first contact between Earth and Darwin literally falls to pieces. But the planners of the Darwin mission have prepared for just such a scenario. The Von Braun vehicle carries 2 additional probes. Probe Leonardo da Vinci is nicknamed Leo. Leo is followed by a twin probe, the Isaac Newton, aka Ike. The probes enter the atmosphere just like the space shuttles do on Earth. The final approach is a lazy S pattern to burn off excess speed before landing. Temperatures on the surface, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Leo is first to land and emerge from his vehicle. Leo's bird-like head is crammed with sensors. Driven by protocols embedded in his software, Leo confirms that Ike's landing is on track and sends a status report to the Von Braun. The news that Leo and Ike have landed is beamed to Earth. Perhaps it's fitting that scientists who were babies when the Von Braun left Earth now announce the birth of interstellar space travel.
Watching these probes from back on Earth would be much like sitting in the back of an auditorium watching your child at a spelling bee where you know the answer and you're sitting there hoping that they're going to make the right decision and come forth with the right answer, but also knowing that you can't do a thing to help them at this moment.
Leo's first assignment is to recon a region studded by tall, mysterious, gourd-like structures. Before he can take them on, he's got to get himself together. Darwin 4's atmosphere is drenched in water vapor, a free source of hydrogen, which Leo converts to inflate a large bag on his back. It's covered with photosynthetic solar panels. The array turns a green hue as an algae-like material within the cells generates energy from Darwin 4's 2 suns. Leo's bird-like head contains 2 sensitive camera eyes. His arms are simulated plastic muscle, tipped with sensors and a manipulator that can pluck a petal off an alien daisy. Thrusters on pivots push him along at a top speed of 30 miles an hour. Leo senses movement in his side-scanning radar. But he can't investigate the source of the movement. His artificial intelligence isn't programmed for it at this point. Leo's first priority is finding his yellow-tailed brother. While physically identical, Ike and Leo were created with complementary personalities. Ike is safety conscious. Leo is inquisitive and programmed to take risks. Their artificial IQs are roughly those of 4-year-old children. Their missions can be redirected by the von Braun supercomputers at any time. Assisting them are mini probes, like this spider. It's designed to explore places too tight or dangerous for Leo and Ike. The data they collect is transmitted to the von Braun for analysis. Camera discs serve as high-speed scouts. The saucers can be retrieved and recharged. Radical changes in Darwin 4's weather could tear the probes to shreds. So Ike and Leo deploy an early warning system. Small weather balloons monitor the atmosphere. It's now time for the last diagnostic check. Should Ike or Leo confront intelligent life, they'll present a calling card in the form of a hologram. Number comprehension, images of our galaxy, solar system, the Earth, and the human species are offered as an interstellar handshake. Some astrobiologists predict the only alien life forms we may stumble upon are microorganisms, and the probes are designed to study them. Leo is programmed to search for them in the first puddle of water he finds. A microcosmos of single and multiple cell life forms fill his sensors. But Leo is about to discover that life on Darwin 4 comes in many sizes and many faces. This life form is roughly the size of a T-Rex. But instead of a roar, it directs a single wave of sonar at Leo and Ike. Darwin 4 has dealt the mission a wild card. The probes are in the middle of an extraterrestrial Serengeti, and it's a whole new game.
The discovery that Darwin 4 is not just a planet capable of sustaining life or had life at a simple level on it. In fact, had an entire complex, interactive, multicellular biosphere comparable to what we see on Earth, is one of the greatest discoveries, the greatest discovery in the history of mankind.
We can almost be certain that life that we find on another planet will have evolved along lines differently from the life on Earth.
The arrow tongue is a remarkable large predator. As far as we can tell, in terms of the land-living predators on Darwin 4, it's the largest one we got a record of.
So when we look at Darwin 4 and look at an organism like an arrow tongue, and then we look at Earth and an organism like a Tyrannosaurus rex, we've got two different evolutionary pathways, starting out with different raw materials under perhaps similar circumstances, and we end up with these two organisms that in some ways are very, very similar, and in other ways are extremely different.
Its eyesight may be less evolved than large life on Earth. So using sonar could be a more accurate means of locating objects around it, like Leo and Ike. Splotches of bioluminescence cover the creature's back. Astrobiologists could call this creature the arrow tongue. The arrow tongue determines the probes pose no threat and turns its attentions elsewhere. The gyrosprinter is a two-legged vegetarian about twice the size of an African antelope. Arrow tongue reveals itself as an ambush predator, capable of great bursts of speed. As predator and prey hit speeds of 40 miles per hour, the probes are left in the dust. Ike launches a camera disc to follow the action. The arrow tongue commands the road like a semi-truck, but the gyrosprinter corners on a dime. Night falls on Darwin 4. Scattered bands of bioluminescence rake the surface, like some kind of alien landscape lighting. Possibly it's a form of communication on Darwin 4. But Ike and Leo ignore the light show and push on towards their prime objective. Their first priority is to scour the landing site for Balboa, the lost probe, to confirm its fate. The Darwin mission now depends on just two intrepid probes with the intelligence of preschoolers. Images of the Balboa and of large life forms taken by Ike and Leo are evaluated by the von Braun. Its supercomputers now make important adjustments in the programming of the two probes. The probes are directed to split up. Leo will hunt for Darwin's larger creatures, while Ike explores ecosystems and life forms that resemble plants. As Leo looks for big game, his twin probe, Ike, explores a small, isolated forest. The floor is covered with stickball plants, part sponge, part virus. Giant molds called Darwin tomatoes rise from the dense soil. Then Ike's sensors suddenly direct him skyward. Called trunk suckers, they cling to these plaque-bark trees, sucking nourishment from the nutrient-rich layers just beneath the tough outer shingles. It's here that the mission reaches another milestone. After seeing life everywhere, Ike gets his first glimpse of death on Darwin 4. But death from what?
If you look at the diversity of what species look like on this planet, nature has come up with better things than our best science fiction artists and people try to conceive what a foreign species would look like. Some of these things that come out of the deep ocean just are absolutely amazing creatures. Just the diversity from the same starting materials of DNA and genes, by mixing and matching these, almost any physical appearance is possible.
For the past 3 days, the Darwin reconnaissance orbiters tracked a large object moving rapidly across the surface. Leo has been ordered to investigate what mission scientists call an object of interest. As it turns out, the object of interest is not an object at all. It's a bunch of them. Leo locks onto a herd of creatures called unts. Like buffaloes on Earth, the unts are competitive, possibly fighting for domination of the herd. Something spooks the herd. Leo senses movement nearby but can't get a fix. His sensors are simultaneously scanning in all directions, looking for the strongest signal. The newest input comes through Leo's microphones. A pair of bladder horns compete. Bioluminescent antlers are displayed to scare off opponents. The racket from this duel might have spooked the unts. Leo interprets the back and forth bellowing as a form of communication. Perhaps this alien grump is smarter than it looks. Leo deploys the Earth communication screen. Like a greeting card, it's the best hello we can offer. But if the bladderhorn is saying anything, it's probably telling Leo to get lost. The bladderhorn cuts and runs as Leo's sensors detect another disturbance. For the next 24 hours, the Von Braun makes several attempts to communicate with Leo, but gets no reply. A grim dispatch rides a laser beam to Earth. Probe Da Vinci has gone offline. Cause unknown.
When we do make contact with an intelligent life form, they may be descended from predators. Take a look at our animal kingdom. We have foxes, lions, and tigers with stereo eyes to the front, and then we have rabbits and deers with eyes to the side. That's because the predators have to zero in on the prey. They have cunning, they have stealth, they know how to ambush. While if you're a rabbit, all you have to do is know how to run. So which is more intelligent, the fox or the rabbit? Well, obviously, the fox is more intelligent than the rabbit. So chances are, when we meet intelligent life forms in outer space, they're going to be descended from predators.
Unless he resumes transmitting again, Leo is virtually an invisible dot on a vast alien landscape. Leo's twin probe, Ike, soldiers on. He finds another pocket forest, the living remains of woodlands that thrived until Darwin's oceans evaporated and the climate changed. As Ike begins to scan the trees, his sensors pick up something new, lurking on a high branch of a plaquebark tree. Scientists will call it the dagger wrist for good reason. When Ike launches a camera disc, the dagger wrist is not interested in posing. The dagger wrist's forelimbs sink so deep, the nutrient-rich sap bleeds to the surface. Ike's not programmed to approach something this aggressive. That was Leo's job. The study of plant life is Ike's mission, until von Braun orders otherwise. Finding water is statistically the most efficient method of finding vegetation. Ike scans a carpet of moss at the edge of a deep water marsh. But what lies beyond it is even more intriguing. Ike surveys 3 odd mounds covered with saplings. But appearances are deceiving on Darwin 4. Rising 5 stories into the air is a massive paradox. The Groveback. Grovebacks bury themselves alive for long periods of time. They're not hibernating, they're feeding. Grovebacks absorb nutrients from the soil through the skin of their underbodies. When the ground's depleted, they move on in search of new feeding areas. A burst of data kicks von Braun's computers into hyperdrive. Ike's brother Leo has come back online. But for now, it's back to the business of discovery. Ike's motion sensors pick up activity within the grove. Not on the ground, but in the air. The link between a deadly hunter, its prey, and the plaquebark tree suddenly unfolds. The dark king of the pocket forest fills in the missing pieces of a predatory puzzle. Trunk suckers feed on the sap from gashes made by climbing dagger wrists. Ike's data confirms that dagger wrists extract the pre-digested material from the corpses of their prey. A gruesome but energy-efficient survival strategy on Darwin 4. Ike takes his survey to a high meadow where his side-scanning radar detects some new blips. A sonar ping throws a herd of literalopes into a panic. Like the arrow tongue, these aerial killers hunt with sonar. No creature on Darwin 4 is safe from the lance of the flying skewer. The lance itself is hollow and as strong as titanium. Running through its center is a razor-spiked tongue that bores through the toughest hide. Helpless prey are killed and drained of fluids. Scavengers, called jet darters, feed on the rest.
One piece of evidence that suggests the probability of primitive forms of life appearing may be reasonably high is that life seems to have appeared on Earth shortly after the Earth cooled sufficiently for life to be possible. If life was very unlikely, one might have expected life not to have appeared until late in the 10 billion years or so that the Earth has to live.
On Darwin 4, the mission encounters giant life forms and supersized animal organisms, all supported by a dense, humid atmosphere and a lower gravity than on Earth. Ruling the skies are falcon-like predators called skewers. Aerial life forms that travel and hunt in pairs. Skewers maneuver by changing the shape of their 50-foot wingspans. But it's not their wings that actually propel them. Skewers create methane gas internally and combust it in 4 jet-like pods. Literalopes defend themselves by scattering in all directions. Skewers are forced to choose only one target. Darwin's aerial predator is literally knocked from the sky. But by what? Ike's sensors pick up a familiar signature. Just walking on Darwin 4 is a hazardous undertaking. Even a 5-story groveback must watch its step. A colony of beach quills launch an assault on a careless groveback. The quills penetrate deep into the creature's hide and deliver a fatal dose of neurotoxins. The beach quills consume the groveback alive. Far from the killing field, another struggle continues in a remote corner of Darwin 4. Leo has no fix on his location. To find his position, he must launch a camera disc to clue in to his surroundings. Leo's last transmission allows von Braun's supercomputers to plot his location. Ike is ordered to break off his survey immediately. He's now instructed to assume greater risks. His mission now is to find Leo. The journey will take him across a vast, unexplored region of Darwin 4. Based on data from the reconnaissance orbiter, Darwin's oceans evaporated millions of years ago, transforming the air into a dense, oxygen-rich blanket. When the oceans vanished, they left behind a badland of twisted spires. While Darwin lost its oceans, it still maintains a sea roughly the size of Texas. But what looked like water from space doesn't hold up under closer examination. The water's edge looks like a thick sheet of gelatin, surrounded by great spires of salt. Ike can't penetrate the surface. It's like a waterbed teeming with life. What looks like a sea is actually a vast colony, a matrix of symbiotic life forms. They evolved as the oceans evaporated, trapping seawater within their transparent membranes. The von Braun has calculated that crossing the amoebic sea is the quickest way to reach the site of Leo's last transmission. But halfway there, Ike spots a radical change in the surface texture. The amoebic sea suddenly behaves like a gigantic predator that preys on low-flying game. The Darwin Reconnaissance Orbiter issues a sudden storm alert. wall of debris is closing in at high speed. Ike's one chance to survive may already be out of reach. Ike could have run from the storm by rising above it. But his new directive is to assume greater risk in the search for Leo. Crossing the amoebic sea is the shortest path. Ike's sensors detect a huge disturbance. But it's not the storm. It's the biggest life form ever encountered, anywhere. The sea strider is 7 stories tall. Now Ike detects more movement. The flyers seem to orbit the strider, attracted to an energy source just beneath its mouthless head. The striders are not just walking on the surface. They're taking chunks of it along with them. The storm ends as suddenly as it began. The striders are heading the same direction Ike must take to reach Leo. So Ike will tag along and gather data on the alien giants. Astrobiologists could find that the striders eat from mouths at the bottom of their giant feet, trudging back and forth across the sea on a movable feast. The flyers are nymph-like young of the sea striders. They have a relationship to the sea as well. The far shore is finally in sight. Here, the peaceful giants of Darwin 4 make a U-turn. Based on Leo's transmissions to the Von Braun, Ike will follow his trail like a robotic bloodhound. The Unth herd hasn't strayed far from where Leo first encountered them. Ike spots a metallic glint that could only come from Leo.
Our first forays beyond the solar system to the nearest nearby planets will be robotic. They ought to be robotic. It makes sense. And we will be the bystanders, much more so than we are today with our robotic emissaries. But that's okay, because it's my belief that as we do that, we will have trained ourselves for those smart machines to act more like us. Not to be us, they never will, but they'll act more like us in the sense that they'll observe, mine the data, understand the anomalies, the excitement, find the sweet spots, and tell us that at the limits of the speed of physics, the speed of light. And as they go, they'll open the doors in our eyes to how we may go.
It's not the camera disc that stumps Ike's computer. It's what lays around it. Ike is unable to determine if something actually built this site. Ike detects motion as he heads for Leo's final transmission point. There's no place to run and no time to hide from Darwin's deadliest predator. The probe is not equipped to evade predators like the skewer. But that's not a problem now. Ike's sensors pick up a new life form. And he follows the signal. Ike senses no movement, no transmissions coming from his twin probe, Leo. Ike senses movement all around him. Suddenly, movement is detected from Leo's direction.
Seeing life itself on another planet would be the most breathtaking, emotional charge that a scientist could ever possibly have.
This alien could have easily destroyed the probe. Instead, it waits for Ike to make the next move. When Ike projects numeric symbols, the alien seems ready to respond. Part 1 is a test to determine if this alien creature can conceptualize and is therefore intelligent. Ike flashes 3 symbols. The alien responds correctly with 4 flashes. This response triggers Ike to deliver the rest of the message. When a third creature closes in, Ike launches a camera disc to assess the threat. "160 days into the Darwin 4 mission, the last recorded image of Ike and Leo is sent to the von Braun. Computers play and replay the data for the next 72 hours. But interpretation of this profound event is beyond the scope of its artificial intelligence software. To evaluate the full significance of our first extraterrestrial contact requires human intelligence. After decades of research, the pieces begin to fall together. Scientists call the creatures Eosapiens, life forms with intelligence possibly similar to that of early man. Eosapiens appear to be highly mobile and airborne. They navigate with organic thrusters and a large, delicate bag of methane for lift. The Eosapiens may see the camera disk launched by the probes as threats. This misunderstanding may have triggered the destruction of Leo. As the simulated mission to this alien planet ends, the questions it raises are as immense as the universe. Will we ever find life beyond our planet? What must we do to reach it? And how can we prepare ourselves psychologically to deal with the discovery of alien life forms?
Finding life beyond Earth, it really is just going to be a matter of persistence. We'll probably have to send a lot of probes.
I mean, we're just beginning. You know, the world and the universe is about to open up to you. You know, we're just slowly waking up out of our cave, for God's sakes. This is the best time. In the next, 200,000 or 300,000 years will be fantastic. It'll be great to be alive.
I think discovering life on another planet might be one of the most fantastic things for humans.
If we want to find advanced intelligent life, our best bet is to listen for radio signals, like the SETI project. Interstellar distances are too large for us to travel to more than the closest stars. If we want to explore the galaxy, so we'd better send robots, but we may not live long enough to hear back from them.
Thomas Huxley, the great biologist in the last century, said that perhaps one of the noblest achievements of science and philosophy is to discover our true role in the universe. Who are we? Where do we fit in the larger scheme of things? That, he thought, was the central question unifying philosophy, science, and art. And today, I think we may be able to answer that question because we are on the verge of perhaps the greatest breakthrough in the history of science, and that is the discovery of other life forms in space.